A mop squeaked against the marble floor as Daniel scrubbed the last patch of dirt beneath the grand glass staircase. The skyscraper was quiet, the kind of silence only the rich could afford at night. Through the reflection on the polished floor, he could see his own tired eyes staring back at him. Just another night, he told himself. Just another shift cleaning up after people who'd never even notice him, but that changed the night he met her, the CEO's daughter. Daniel was a single father, 42, a janitor in one of the city's most prestigious tech companies, Orion Dynamics. He'd taken the job after his wife's passing 3 years ago, doing everything he could to raise his 9-year-old son, Leo. Life wasn't easy. The pay barely covered rent and medicine for Leo's asthma, but Daniel never complained. He'd whisper to himself during those long hours mopping the floors, "It's okay. He's worth everything." One evening, while emptying trash bins on the executive floor, Daniel heard faint sobbing from the CEO's private office. He froze, uncertain. No one was supposed to be there. Slowly, he peeked in. Sitting on the floor, her back against the giant window overlooking the city, was a young girl, maybe 15 or 16, clutching a laptop, tears streaming down her face. "Hey, are you okay?" Daniel asked softly. She jumped, slamming the laptop shut. Don't tell anyone I'm here," she whispered, panic flashing in her eyes. "I won't," he said. "Just wanted to make sure you're all right." The girl wiped her tears quickly, forcing a smile. "I'm fine." "Really?" Daniel nodded, respecting her privacy. He turned to leave, but she spoke again, her voice trembling. "You work here, right?" "Yeah," he said, gripping his mop handle. "Night shift." "Then, you didn't see me, okay?" He gave her a small smile. "Didn't see a thing." That was their first meeting. He didn't know her name. Didn't know she was the CEO's daughter, Evelyn Hart, a genius rumored to be building her own AI system even more advanced than her father's billion-dollar creation. But Daniel saw something in her eyes that night, the same kind of loneliness he'd seen in his son's eyes whenever he left for work. Over the next few weeks, Daniel would occasionally find Evelyn sitting alone in the break room late at night, headphones in, typing furiously on her laptop. One night, he offered her a sandwich from his lunchbox. She hesitated, then accepted it. "You shouldn't be here this late," he said. "I could say the same to you," she replied with a smirk. "Touché." They started talking. Slowly. Awkwardly at first. But then, a strange friendship formed. The janitor and the CEO's secretive daughter. One night, Evelyn confessed, "My father doesn't know I'm working on this. He thinks I'm too young. But I've been developing an algorithm, something that could predict emotional patterns in AI, and make it more human." Daniel chuckled. "Sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie." "It's real," she said, smiling for the first time. "And it could change everything." Then her smile faded. "But if my father finds out, he'll shut it down. He'll say I'm just a kid who doesn't understand business." Daniel looked at her and saw his own struggle reflected back, someone fighting to be seen, to prove their worth despite being underestimated. He said quietly, "Sometimes the people who change the world are the ones no one believes in." Evelyn stared at him, eyes softening. "You really think so?" "I know so," he replied. That was the night she asked for his help, not as a janitor, but as a person who understood what it meant to be invisible. Together, they'd sneak into restricted labs after hours, testing Evelyn's code on old servers Daniel had access to. He didn't understand the science behind it, but he understood her drive. And for the first time in years, Daniel felt like he was part of something bigger. But secrets don't stay hidden forever. One Friday night, security cameras caught Evelyn and Daniel working in the lab. The next morning, Daniel was called into the CEO's office. Mr. Hart, tall, severe, and cold, stood by the window, arms crossed. "Daniel, do you have any idea what kind of company you're working in?" "Yes, sir." "Then maybe you can explain why you were seen accessing restricted areas with my daughter." Daniel's heart pounded. "Sir, it's not what it looks like. It looks like a janitor trying to manipulate a young girl into helping him steal company technology." Daniel's throat tightened. "That's not true. I was just, save it. You're fired. Effective immediately." Daniel wanted to fight back, but what could he say? He walked out quietly, holding his cleaning badge, the only thing that had kept food on his table. When Evelyn found out, she ran after him in the rain. "Daniel, wait. This is my fault. I'll talk to my dad." He shook his head. "Don't. He'll only be harder on you." Tears streamed down her face. "I didn't mean to ruin your life." Daniel smiled through the pain. "You didn't ruin it, kid. You reminded me it still had meaning." He walked away, his son's face flashing in his mind, another person who needed him to keep going. Days turned into weeks. Daniel struggled to find another job. He did odd shifts, delivering packages, fixing old buildings, anything to keep Leo safe. Meanwhile, Evelyn disappeared from the company's news altogether. Rumors spread that she'd been sent abroad for disciplinary education. But one morning, nearly a year later, Daniel got a call from an unknown number. "Mr. Daniel Fisher?" "Yes?" "This is Evelyn." "I did it." He froze. "Evelyn?" Her voice was trembling with excitement. The algorithm, it works. I built it. But I didn't just build it for the company. I built it for you. He didn't understand until a week later, when Orion Dynamics held a press conference. The new AI program, Heartline, was revealed a revolutionary emotional intelligence system co-developed by Evelyn Hart, and when reporters asked her how she conceived the idea, she said, "It started with a janitor. A single dad who taught me that the people we overlook often see the world in the clearest way." In the crowd, Daniel watched from the back, his son Leo standing proudly beside him. Evelyn spotted them through the flashes of cameras and smiled, that same smile from their late-night talks in the empty hallways. Daniel's eyes glistened. For once, he didn't feel invisible, because sometimes, the greatest impact you make isn't through brilliance or status, but through kindness, belief, and the courage to help someone chase their light even when your own life feels dark, and that was the story of how a janitor and a genius changed each other's worlds forever.